He's here. He's really here. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to AfterBuzz TV's weekly recap of Days of Our Lives, Dishin Days. I am here today, Mark J. Freeman, joined by... Oh,
that's not mine.
Oh, it's mine probably. That's me. Quality. Joined by Matthew and Paine.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dishin Days.
And the one and only Emmy-nominated Billy Flynn is in the house.
You're making me blush.
I have a new hashtag for you too, Billy.
What's that?
Well, hold on. I was thinking about it when I was walking the dogs today. Hashtag hottest guy on daytime. I know it's a long one, but I'm going to start it.
It's a high bar to live up to.
You got it, girl.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, girl.
See, he knows how to talk to me. He gets it. Thank you guys for joining us. You can always follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Twitter's _Dishin Days, Instagram's Dishin Days, or Facebook, or our individual Twitters, whatever.
I was on the phone with my parents on the way to the studio today. My mom wanted to know if you slept a wink last night.
I did. I need to get my beauty sleep, so I took a sleeping pill.
I thought you were going to say that they were thinking about me.
That also, yes.
And then also, don't forget to go to iTunes and rate us a 5-star, please. And I can almost guarantee you'll get a fan of the week if you do that. So you heard that here first.
Yeah.
Billy, thank you for being here.
Oh, just blessed to be here.
We had Miss Marcy Miller here last week, who spoke very highly of you.
Yeah.
Amazing. And we even stood out there like for another half hour.
Yeah, something.
At least, like just chit-chatting with her. She was just wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, and she dressed up for you guys, which was nice. Love you, Marcy.
She had wonderful things to say about you too, Billy.
She's amazing.
Yeah. All right, well, we're going to get into the show. We'll talk about this week. I do have an idea, something I'm going to throw out there and surprise everybody with. A little game we're going to play since Billy's here. But I'll get into that as we get further into the show.
Do I get to keep my clothes on?
Well, we'll see.
Debatable.
Behave. We will be taking phone calls later, so you guys can ask Billy your questions and stuff like that. And Matthew, what did you think of this week?
There was some good and there was some bad.
Yeah, was it this week you messaged me and was like, girl, what is going on?
It happened.
I'm losing track because we get those texts a lot. But was that this week? That was this week.
That was last week and this week, but this week got a phone call. We actually talked on the phone about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed when I was going back through my notes, Monday, Tuesday, I think it was Tuesday night that you messaged me that you weren't happy with it. But when looking through my notes, realized it's because Billy wasn't on Monday and Tuesday.
It's a better show when Billy Flynn's on.
Look.
You heard? That's breaking news, Alexis. Put that on a loop.
That's a press release right there.
That is.
I can't say anything to that, but I'm not going to say no.
You're an exclusive.
I was like, what do I keep hearing? What is this? You guys are so much more high tech than the last time I was here.
Did you notice that I'm wearing Billy Flynn blue, by the way? This is for you.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, to bring out your eyes.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Don't
close your ears, Mark. Is that what this shade of blue is?
Yeah, Billy Flynn blue. Yep.
Does it match my eyes? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I told them I would shut down this show if I see anything inappropriate on that side of the table.
He's already touched me like 3 times.
Stop it. Okay, let's get into...
This is... Oh, God. The show is never going to go anywhere.
He knows how to get to me. All right, let's just start Dishin Days because I can't think straight. So, Billy, you're going to get to...
What is happening?
I'm for my real. I am for my real. You gotta do that because I got food in my mouth now.
Matthew and Paine, what do we do on Days today?
I don't care. This is so good.
God, you gotta do it because I got food in my mouth.
Oh, it's time to start.
Thank you.
Dishin Days.
So now
and you can do the
flip it.
honors.
Oh, boy.
There we go. Flipping it.
There we go.
And forgotten it.
Oh, and before we hop into the storylines, though, did you see NBC.com's Days section revamp their little website?
I did not.
I sent Alexis in some photos, which you will see here in a moment. The #1 photo when you type in
Billy
Days of Our
Flynn?
Lives.
Oh.
No. We're getting there. Is Deidre Hall looking spectacular. I don't know if it's up on the screen yet.
Alexis, do you have the photo that Matthew sent in? She's probably reheating
That's
some
okay.
more pizza
That's
rolls.
all right. We'll do it later then.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll do it news and gossip,
Yeah,
maybe?
sure.
Okay.
All right.
That's great.
All right, so
The fans have something to look forward to.
since I kind of have been filling in for Tony, he hasn't been here, something that
Was
I
he
do...
intimidated by my
I
knowing
really
that my
think,
presence
I
was
think
coming?
he is. I think you make him too nervous.
I mean, I know he's got a thing for me.
He does.
He refuses to admit it. So maybe that's what he's going. Maybe that's some like he's going through a personal thing because he's reeling with his feelings for me.
I think that's spot on.
Is that what it
That's
is?
I think that's it.
I'm gonna think that. Y'all can think whatever you want.
Well, when I'm hosting, we always start with Billy. So we're going to start with
Let's do it.
Billy,
All
yep.
right. So this...
I honestly don't care if we talk about any storyline today. I'm just happy chatting about the show.
Okay, you know what? That
All right,
since
then I'm
you,
gonna leave it on the wide, and I'm gonna go take a break. Bye, guys.
Oh, come on now.
no, well,
Just kidding.
that's perfect because that's lead. I'm going to talk about my idea. So since we're going to make this a Billy Flynn show,
Okay.
So even when we're done with your storyline, when we get to the next story, we're going to talk about it, and then at the end, we're going to figure out a way how
To
we can
incorporate-
work Chad into that storyline.
Perfect.
How's that?
Good.
All right. So this is the Billy Flynn hour.
These days, anything is possible.
That's right.
And Alexis,
Yes.
can you pull up that #1 photo?
Yes.
All right. So this was the photo on NBC.com's website for the Days of Our Lives
Wow, she
section,
looks great.
looking spectacular. And they only chose 2 photos that kind of play in a loop. This being #1, and then this being #2.
Oh.
Have you seen that yet?
I haven't seen that.
Gorgeous.
Duh.
What is that? What is that from?
NBC.com. When you click on Days of Our Lives.
Usually they
that's-
don't pick me. They don't like me much. They don't.
Well, I think they love you.
But
I-
Camilla makes it look good, so that's why they.
I think that might be the exact same page you get when you go to Dishin Days.
I feel like
Just
on the other side they
so
should
you
have
know.
Abigail.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But we'll get into that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about Chad and
They're trying to
Abigail
sell it.
and Gabby.
You what?
and Eli.
They're trying to sell it.
Yeah.
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 So this week.
I ain't buying.
No.
So then this week, there was a lot of talk about renewing vows. We got to that at the end of the week. There was some words between Chad and Dario in the park, where Chad actually finds out that Dario is actually in love with Abby. Gabby walks into the pub where you guys are celebrating. Eli goes after her. There was kind of a funny moment to me when Abby and Eli are in the park and Julie kind of just does like this pass through of like what this is going on.
Yeah.
That was quite hysterical. I'm sorry. And then Jennifer comes with the dress for Abby. They talk about Abby and Chad, and then is it Jennifer that's making the video that she needed the pictures of Chad? Someone's
Which
making
brings us to Abigail looking.
So then she found the yearbook and
That's
the
right.
photos. I couldn't remember who was doing the
I
video.
think it's
Somebody
Jennifer.
was, whatever. So she digs out the yearbook and sees writings from Gabby about
From
their
1997.
baseball-
When did you graduate high
their
school?
baseball training
I don't know.
days. Andre brings Abigail flowers from the garden and convinces her that she
The
needs
garden
to...
where Chad and Abigail made love for the first time.
Exactly.
Well,
that would be it.
that makes
Those
sense.
were, and they looked a little trampled upon, the flowers, so that would be appropriate. And then Kate starts to try to get involved with getting Gabby and Chad back together.
Oh, I'm overwhelmed already.
So it is, yeah.
There's
a
a
lot
lot.
going on. How has this been for you, Mr. Flynn?
Splendid.
Are you team Chabby with a Y or Chabby with an I?
Oh boy, you're gonna get me in trouble. Look, I enjoy working with Camilla and Marcy. It's both amazing. I'm not. No, that's a lie. I am pro. I'm pro Chabby with a Y, but just based on story, it had nothing to do with. I think it could have been done right and done really well, and I think I'm just disappointed that they didn't allow. The Gabby and Chad relationship to actually have any sort of foundation.
Right.
You know, it's. I mean, I'm a stickler for the work, you know, and story, like most fans are. So I think I was really let down in that. And I had said before, it's like for me, it was always like I've always been very diligent in maintaining Chad's integrity of the character, of being keeping that really close to the vest. And I did it with Sierra. I mean, when the thing was going on with Sierra, I mean, I went to them and I said, I'm not going to do that. You know, I'm not going to do this. I don't think it's right, and I think you're going to ruin the character. And they agreed with me and turned that around. And then with the Gabby thing, there was so much conflict that could have been amazing with Abigail coming back, and it was one of those things that in little doses I didn't see it adding up. I guess I fell asleep at the wheel, and that's my fault probably, but. Like I you know, compare it to like a bad marriage in the sense that I just don't know where it went off. I don't know where it went wrong.
Right.
And I feel like it's really unfortunate because the fans are what had to pay for it in all aspects. Even fans who are in love with Chad and Gabby.
There's a lot
because
too.
they were shorted an actual story and yeah. So. That's a long way around. I am pro Chad and Abigail just because I think it's good for the show.
Yeah.
That romance, that love story.
Yeah. Well, I do think, and like I said, you just said it too.
But I love Camilla, and I think she's brilliant.
And there are people that are definitely team Chabby with an I.
Yeah. I mean, as am I. I mean, she's beautiful. She's amazing. She's spunky. Like the character's great, and it could have been something amazing.
There's chemistry with both of them.
There's chemistry with both of them. You know, they're different sorts of chemistry. It was just, I think, what it was the show. You know, because we taped so far in advance. How I always played it. I never played it with the intention. Like I said, I didn't really know. It just sort of caught up. I mean, for me, it made sense at the moment because I was like, Chad's lonely. He didn't. You know, and another thing with, like, you know, Chad needed somebody to dress him. Chad's got money. He obviously can dress himself. He was throwing jobs around like you know, like it was water. And it wasn't about having somebody pick out clothes for him. It was about having somebody
close,
make him feel. Yeah, I mean, I think that's where it just went wrong. I guess my justification in playing everything wasn't what correlated on screen, and that's what I'm seeing now, and it's disappointing.
Well, I would say as up and down, and I've been saying all along too. Like, I'm definitely team Chabby with a Y. However, I'm also team Chabby with an I because I know that it helps when there's a conflict. Because I feel like when you put them together,
I just don't need it all the time. I mean, you know, and you guys have talked about it on the show. It's just, you know, there was. I mean, I think especially with where the show is at and headed, you know, it's easier to tell a simple story. You know, it costs more money to do all this other crazy stuff and you know, do the events type of thing. And I think that we could have really related to a lot of people had we just shown a marriage of two people trying to work it out with what had happened. I mean, her coming back from the dead was crazy, but that aside, the issues that they had to face and overcome, which was what I played in the beginning. The guy who was hurt, he wasn't mad at her for he was, you know, for the fact that she was leaving. He was obviously thrilled that she was back. He was mad that she didn't trust him to be able to take care of her. And my justification with letting her slip through my fingers, which you'll realize eventually, is that I think. You know, I used it as sort of a break for him, sort of a mental break for him. But it was as much as him not trusting himself to be able to take care of him. Like when people took my words out of context when I said it was easier with Gabby. It wasn't that I meant it wasn't looking for easy, and it's unfortunate because it plays that way. The way it's playing right now informs the way people maybe thought I meant it. Right. What I meant was. I don't think I feel like I was playing it from a place where I didn't think that Chad could protect her anymore, and I felt like everything that I was putting her through was Chad's fault, and I didn't want to put her through that. I thought it would be easier for her as well to not be with me, for her to, like, not that you're going to be with the love of your life, but maybe you can be happy, right, and still make it work. That was my justification. We're getting real serious about it, but I think it's important because I know, like, with the stuff that played Friday and the stuff that's coming up Monday, it's, for me, it's some of the best work. The scenes that played Friday mixed with Monday as the two episodes as a whole, I think is maybe the best scenes I've had on the show to date.
And Marcy said something similar.
Marcy will get her Emmy nom for it next year. She's brilliant in it. You know, but that's the justification around it all, and it sucks because the words that you actually say don't show. But if you watch it based on the emotion, because you know, as the fans know, I saw somebody say something about it, how despite what the writing is, I saw somebody say something like, I'll slip in performances that make you see that Chad doesn't hesitate with who he loves more.
Right.
There's no hesitation.
Right.
Which is true, but it's as much as Chad fighting against that. He's fighting himself and the Marcy and the Gabby thing. Like it's deeper if you allow yourself to see the layers of it.
Right.
I thought, but it's just the writing didn't show up.
Yeah. Well, I think, there was a moment this week when Abby comes back home after you saw Dario in the park and found everything out. There was something about that scene with you and her justifying why she didn't tell you and all this. Like, it seemed so real. Like, I felt like it was like a legitimate argument that a couple would have. Like, if you found out that somebody had told her he loved her and she didn't tell you. I was just really like I really. And it was simple. There was nothing about it, but it was real. Yeah. And I think that's what I enjoy, those real moments.
Yeah, I mean those little bits, was such a shame when they started to kind of split Marcy and I up during those times, because like even the scenes when she stops the thing, I'd actually watched through because I saw some notes that people had on it about it being seemed to be really authentic, and I remember shooting that. I remember it felt really authentic. Marcy and I both were really sort of dropped in this place, and I think that was what's interesting about the sort of Chabby 3.0s. Her and I have this. It's I think it's far more cinematic, like in a film type version of how her and I work together. It's simple and subtle, and you see the nuances in everything, you know. And Kate and I had a lot of that too, but it was, I think the writing was bigger at the time. Marcy and I found like we found this great subtlety in the writing that we have now, and like you said, I remember that scene. I just remember having this moment because we're there with each other, and it doesn't have to be this big thing. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a tug on the ear and like some of that stuff gets so ridiculous that you're just like, are you kidding me right now? And a lot of it's ad-libs on our part. Like I remember the vows. I rewrote the vows, the ones that they came because they were just to make it a little bit more related to our story, because a lot of times it'll just be something that's not. I think hers were sort of very generic, the ones that she had was said, but like the part where I was like, I'll fix it, let me fix it. I said that because it's like, you know, when you're in that and somebody's with you, you're allowed the opportunity to just sort of, and they give me a lot of leeway in doing it, you know, the producers, so I thank them for that. But I think that's where you find sort of your those moments is in that when I just said, just let me fix it, because that's the stuff I feel like that moves me, and then when I'm in it and I say it, you know, it's it translates. I just remember saying, just let me fix it. Just let me fix it.
You were talking about the subtleties, and I remember there was a scene like 2 months ago where you and Abigail were in bed together, and Marcy's sitting in the middle of the bed, and she turns around and just gives you a little peck on the lips, and it's so realistic, like they just a little kiss, and you see the relationship. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, she comes from the film, the film area, and it's sort of where I maybe fall into a little bit more, just because it's, you know, I think even primetime TV is everything's basically a soap, right? It's just a form of what the writing is. But yeah, I mean, she comes from a world, I think it's where I fall more into, because I tend to underplay or I don't necessarily play the moment that's on the page. Like if it's something where a lot of times maybe you'd cry, I tend to maybe laugh or get angry. I'll laugh, you know. I'm an emotional little baby boy, but yeah, she's. I mean, that's what she brings to the table. You know, she's amazing.
Another moment that I really made me laugh because she completes me is Kate.
I knew it.
When Abby's like, okay, I need to talk to my husband. Okay, yep. Let's go. Everybody out of the room.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
That was hysterical.
I liked when Chad and Abigail asked everyone to hold hands. Oh. And Jennifer and Kate had to hold hands. And I mean, Kate held out for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. I liked Marcy's no.
Oh yeah. Yes.
She literally brought it down. I was like, because I remember that scene very, very distinctly.
This is the one from the week before.
Yes. And I just remember going like, whoop, I'm gonna. because I knew that she was directing probably a lot of it at me, but Kate was the brunt of who was getting it. So I was like, I'm gonna, if I can just slide back as far, maybe then she won't see me. And then like with the yes ma'am was an ad lib at the end, because I was like,
yeah. Well, and she even said that her line about this being her house is ad libbed. That she ad libbed that too, which I thought was fantastic. Yeah. Great stuff. Great stuff. Anything else you have with this storyline?
Yes. The scenes that we saw in weeks prior where Chad and Gabby are locked in a heat locker, a meat locker,
7-Eleven,
and then Abigail, Chad, and Gabby locked up together. Do you think to yourself, again? Is this happening again?
We did think that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so hot in here, we're going to peel off our clothes, and then it's so cold in here, we're going to peel off our clothes and then use body heat.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just like,
don't get me wrong, I am not complaining about that. That is not my complaint.
I was because it's like I was getting real into some tacos and pizza.
And bagel bites.
And bagel bites. Look, there was other ways to
that's always my thing. Is
to go about it. I mean, it's even with the picking two, you have to with the vial and the baseball. Like
right.
I don't understand. Nothing anybody. Look, these people try to write 8 episodes a week, and everybody, you know what I mean. The fact that we're still on the air and we're able to do this, everybody is working incredibly hard. It's easy to sort of point fingers on this and that, but at the end of the day, we're all just trying to tell a show, and we don't have the resources that other people have or the time to create these super elaborate stories. So I think when you see a lot of the times, I mean, I don't think that's an excuse for making up histories and stuff like that aren't real.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I said, it is a show in which I'm a firm believer. Like when they say it's a soap, I don't agree with that. Or like a soap actor. I hate that more than anything. Or like when you have to like suspend your disbelief. It's a soap opera. For me, I'm like no, you're asking people to sit down in front of their television for an hour and believe. You're asking them to believe these stories. So I always fight against that. But at the same time, it's like there's this. Like I said with my performances, because I can only speak for my work and the people I work closely with. I don't know a lot of the other storylines and stuff like that. But for us, it's sometimes you have to read between the layers. And at least for me, my performances and my story is if you play it without words, I think you'd see a much different story happening. It's in the eyes and stuff. And over the next couple months, I think you'll start to see where I caught on to what was going on.
Right.
In a moment where they had you throw the vial to Gabby and it's with the ear tug or whatever, there's no one you can say, guys, no, this is foolish.
I did.
You did.
I've done it. I've done it with all of it, and they can attest to it. But at the end of the day, they allow me, like I said, they allow me to get away with a lot based on the work, that I've shown or that I've kind of earned from them. But at the end of the day, sometimes you still gotta tell a story, and you can't they gave me a lot of freedom within the scenes to maybe tweak dialogue and do that, but I can't change the direction of the story.
Yeah.
Or stuff like that. I can guarantee you, and anybody who works with me can attest to it, that if it's something weird that you watch on camera, I more than likely gave my 2 cents.
Your opinion. Yeah.
But that's not my place, and I need to remember that sometimes as well. Like I said, they're very lenient with me, and that's not my job. Yeah. My job, all of our jobs as actors on the show, is to tell the story that we're given. Yeah. And like I said, a lot of the times they allow us because we know the characters so well to tweak things. Everybody does. But you can only do so much without changing the way that it's headed.
Right.
And that's just. It is what it is.
I understand that.
Yep. But the vial
was a bit.
Yeah. I mean, all of that. The baseball thing. I mean, I remember going. Like, I had a blast. We had a blast with it. Camilla and I did, because I was like, look at me. I looked like Channing Tatum in 22 Jump Street or whatever. I'm like, I look like a middle-aged man, and you got me playing high school.
I was so disappointed that week.
I was like, yo, Nikki, you're gonna have to throw some more. You're gonna have to just plaster it on at this point. It's like,
That's hysterical.
you know,
That's funny.
but we had, you know, at the end of the day, sometimes you just gotta,
Yeah.
you know, like Galen and I have this thing, and you know, sometimes it's like, because you always kind of have to play your truth, and it's like sometimes you just gotta, if it's ridiculous, you just know that it's ridiculous, and you'll see a lot of stuff. You'll see the look on my face over the next couple months, where I'm with you.
Now, Chad's gone head to head with Dario, with Deimos, with JJ. Do you have an actor that you really love, kind of throwing down with?
Yeah, JJ. I mean, Casey and I work. I mean, Galen, and I have a lot of good stuff. Jordy's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that dude. He couldn't be a nicer guy. I like throwing it down with Camilla because she's like the sponge. She's the toughest one on the show, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody. I have fun. Teo. I mean, Teo and I just like the banter that we have couldn't be better sometimes. I mean, what you see is like literally we'll be making fun of each other off camera, and then they'll say action, and then you'll just see in a continuation of what we've already been talking about. And I love what they're doing with his character. I mean, you know, it's kind of the one thing that they got going right now. I think is I think showing him with the heart that he has, because the DiMeras are about family, and he might want something more, but I think it's really cool to see. And he played the transition, I think, so well from the kind of the loony kind of crazy guy to the guy who has a heart, and he's trying to just make things work for Abigail and his brother.
Yeah, I did like, and I liked that scene with him and Abby too. I thought it was, and it seemed believable and realistic.
They work really
like
well
I'm always doing that. That's kind of my, like, I catch myself doing is like, if it's something I'm watching and I'm like, oh, this is it's believable. It's like I can see them having this conversation. I'm okay with it.
Yep.
It's usually when it's far-fetched and out there that I'm like, ugh. So I had an idea that after each of our big set, we do 3 main storylines for the week.
Yep.
That at the end of each one, I'm going to do a Twitter poll. So for this one, and it's coming from the Dishin Days Twitter, I'm doing, which team are you? Team Chabby with a Y or Team Chabby with an I?
And let me just say also for the record, because I know I'm going to hear it one way or another. Like I said in the beginning, I love Chabby with an I as well. I think they all have stories to tell, and I think you know, I mean, like I said, Camilla's stunning. She's amazing. I think the relationship could have been done really well. I'm just disappointed that they didn't do it that way.
Yeah.
So don't threaten.
But you can still vote on the thing, and we'll give the results next week. I gave it like 5-day poll, so we'll do one at the end of each segment. So the next storyline is Nicole and Brady. Brady. So I got a little confused because I felt like maybe I missed something, which is very possible. So Nicole actually, I was thinking Nicole was wanting to be with Brady, but I guess that she's hesitant to do that. I thought when he said to her that he loved her, that he wanted to be with her, that she was like, okay, let's do this. But I guess it's not the case. I don't know. That's, you know,
What makes
whatever.
you say
Sometimes
that?
I'm drinking when I'm watching the Days. So
Wait, what makes you say that?
well, because she kept saying to him, like, he's kept saying, like, okay, I will take my time. I know you're not ready for this and stuff. And I kind of missed that whole part of the
I think she's
storyline.
interested. I just think that she wants to go slowly, and additionally, because she's still pining over the dead doctor.
They talk about him more now that he's dead. Can you do something about that? Please.
Hey man, he's, you know, what do you want? I like the guy. What do you want me to say?
I don't know him personally.
See, maybe if
Dr.
Billy likes
Dan
him, maybe
is
you
not-
can like him now.
Whatever.
But
Well, you know, I mean, with all respect, I mean, they kind of did the. I'll get closer. You know, wasn't it they sort of tried to what they did with his character, where they had him sort of become this, like, wasn't he with like an underage girl?
He
like,
started
that's sort of what ruined
with-
the character, right?
Yeah, he started out with Chelsea.
That's not his fault.
weren't you with an
I'm not
underage girl?
saying- but that's not what my issues
No,
are.
Sierra.
I fought against that one.
Thank God. Honestly, thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk about him anymore. All right.
But Brady's got his heart in him now. So now do
Yeah.
you have to hate Brady?
No.
A little bit.
Got
No.
his blood
No.
pumping through.
I
Same
mean,
blood.
if he starts like acting like him, then I might. But I don't think.
Or not acting like him.
Eric. I'm watching. Don't do it.
But also, I was going to say, also, Nicole's taking it slowly because Scooter's threatening her.
Right. I was gonna say she was
the
kissing.
hell is Scooter?
You don't know who Scooter is?
Scooter's the guy
Did I
that
miss
watches
this?
porn and recognized her in Canada.
Oh, it's Chad's best friend. It's what it is T just changed his name.
Where is T?
That's T. I
T
like
was
that.
fun to
That's
watch.
a nice twist.
I know. I love
That's a
Brendan
nice
Kaufman too.
twist
He's one
on
of my
the-
best friends.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
He's a good guy. Yeah, and so I think what's going on here now is because Hillary comes over, Hillary's Scooter's wife.
Stay at home, Hillary.
And they had a big fight. And,
Stay at home, Hillary.
And then there was this talk of, she kind of jokingly said to Nicole that she would like her to kill her husband.
So Nicole went and grabbed the gun out of her purse.
Well, she just looked at it. She didn't take the gun. She just kind of looked.
She held it.
Yeah, but she put it back in the purse. She didn't like steal the gun.
My thought was your fingerprints are now on the gun, which
Yeah.
I have a prediction already.
Oh, okay.
I think Hillary will kill Scooter. And I think Nicole's prints will be on the gun.
Interesting.
I wish I knew.
Yeah.
Start paying more attention.
Scooter who?
Scooter who?
It's T.
And his name is I actually googled him today. Rob Derringer. He was on General Hospital, I guess.
He's very good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate him. I don't, it's just, I just feel like again, we're dragging stuff out like they used to do.
I mean, he's
And
no
I'm-
Chad DiMera, but
Speaking of Chad DiMera, how could we work Chad into the storyline? Interesting. How
You don't
could
have
we...
scenes
After
with
high
Ari,
school,
really, do you?
after high school, Chad, in order to make money, did some porn, and Scooter and him know each other from then.
And I think they need to air that.
Yeah.
That's just a request.
You ever
from
seen this documentary, the Tickle documentary,
No.
where like the dudes the
Oh, that are into
competitive tickling?
Oh.
Scooter, Chad, Sonny, Will, and
Paul.
And Paul were all tickle
There
competitive
we
tickle
go.
champions.
There we go.
oh, I'm
If-
glad you mentioned Sonny.
Yeah.
You guys have terrific on-screen chemistry. Are you really good
Oh,
friends
yeah.
off-screen?
Yeah, we get along great. We don't. I always try to get him. Look, the thing with us is we sort of have these little inside jokes that make the scenes work well. Like I'm always trying to kiss him, and he always says that, and he always pretends that I owe him money. So we always have these like, weird things that we go into scenes with. But yeah, I mean, we just. For me, that's an important relationship in telling, in daytime. I think that what they do with Sonny and Paul and Will, sometimes they try to make it about, their sexual orientation and less about who they are as people. So so for me, I just try to blend the thing, especially for a lot of straight guys who have gay friends. For me, it's like I'm gonna kiss you on the mouth because I think it's awesome, and that's what I mean. I don't really try to maybe I do. No, but so our chemistry is literally just him and I.
Yeah.
You can feel that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Totally. So basically the scene with Nicole and this all ended with her calling Scooter and telling him to meet her at the Maple Leaf Hotel. But and this will
Not
be-
the dewdrop in.
not the dewdrop in. But this will then lead to what my poll is for this one, which is: do you think she's going to sleep with him or kill him?
Who, T?
Yes, T.
T.
Do you, I think she's gonna kill him.
I think that he will die. I don't know that she will be the killer.
I think that here's what I was thinking. I think she's gonna kill him like for Hillary, and she's gonna be so grateful that Hillary's gonna actually help Nicole get away with things and get the baby back.
What is it, Jennifer Landon?
And I'm gonna tweet that poll out now too. So go ahead.
Jennifer Landon plays Hillary, correct?
Yes.
I like her. I don't like Hillary.
Right.
Hillary walks into the room and I know, because I don't want to insult Jennifer. I think Hillary seems unstable.
Yeah.
Why are you crying to this woman that you don't know about your cheating, porn-addicted
Well,
husband?
and that's one of those things that I always have issues with. Is like she just keeps coming over. Like I kept thinking, like if I had just moved in and my neighbor kept showing up at my door, I'd be like, dude, this isn't gonna.
You'd have to talk
Especially
to the-
Nicole. I did love the scene where she was like psyching herself up, like who are you? What are you? You're gonna put up with this? This isn't the Nicole I know. I love when she has conversations. There's nobody that does conversations with themselves like Ari Zucker.
I agree.
I could watch her literally talk to herself all day.
You don't really have many scenes with her, do you?
Have you ever had a scene with her?
We've had 2.
Wow.
In your entire run on Days?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not nearly enough.
No.
No, I'd love to be able to work with her.
That would be a great pairing. Too.
Yeah.
All right. So
Marcy was saying when she was...
Especially with their history.
Yeah.
She's the one who had Grace.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Marcy was saying when she was here, I asked her that there's a lot of crying, between Abigail and Chad, and Nicole has a lot of crying scenes. And I asked Marcy if she ever leaves the scene thinking, "Oh wow, I cried. I didn't think I was going to." And she said, "Yeah, it happens a lot where I'll cry and I don't mean to." Is it the same for you?
Her and I have had a lot of those moments since I think. Since she started, where it's. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's a couple that'll air that end up sort of becoming more emotional than you imagine them being.
Do you take the character home with you?
No, I mean it's the character is so much of just who I am now. I mean, that no, I mean when I got to be a prick on the show, then maybe I come home and I'm a prick, but maybe I'm a prick often anyways. Who knows?
Gina's like, not in my house.
Yeah, exactly.
She sounded a lot like Abby the other day.
Better go outside and come back in.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so then the next storyline that we're going to talk about is the trip, Jade and Joey and the Johnsons and what's going on with that. They basically, Trip is missing at the beginning of the week, and he's listening to the tapes from Ava, and ends up coming home and seeing them and calls everybody liars, that they're lying to him about Ava. He's believing the tapes and not what they say. He gives the tapes to Kayla and Steve to listen to, and then there's a scene with Trip and Joey where it appears that Joey's going to actually tell him that he killed Ava, not his dad. And then Jade kind of swoops in. And this is where the whole thing takes an. This is where it really started getting interesting to me, because all along I just kept thinking, because they kept talking about Jade knowing, I kept thinking was, oh, Jade's going to be the one that rats him out. But now I'm really leaning towards, because of what happened this week with her saying, let me talk to him. I want to tell him what a wonderful family you guys have been to me. I think this will help. And I was like, that's the moment where I was like, okay, that's clever. I'm glad that you're doing it. Because I never thought to do that. And I really enjoyed that. Because it's true. Like, they did legitimately help her. She should be standing up for him. So now I'm wondering, is she going to help or hurt Joey?
I think she will help Joey. I do think she will sleep with Trip, though. I feel like
that's not them helping Joey. For the
helping
record.
Joey while fulfilling her own needs, because she and Joey are not an item.
Technically, no, but she still loves him.
Did you see the sexual chemistry between Trip and Jade?
I mean, you can tell that they're. I mean, I know that there's something going to happen with the three of them,
yep.
Or I feel like that's what's going to happen. I don't know. I can't say that I know because I don't. But I don't know. I'm intrigued now. It's where I was kind of like being very dismissive of it. Now I'm wanting to pay attention, which is good.
I like when Trip and why do we keep forgetting her name? Trip and Jade went to the bar, or Jade followed him to the bar, and she pretty much bullied him into having a beer.
Yeah.
And the second she took a sip, Kayla was like, "You put that
not
down."
on my watch.
Yep.
Yeah. So more importantly, though, now how can we work Chad into the storyline? Interesting.
Maybe he could go to work for Black Patch.
Maybe he just gives everybody a job. Maybe he gives them all.
Hires them all.
Yeah, you can hire
He gives
Trip.
them all internships working under Gabby in this image consulting.
Yeah.
Or you could hire Jade to be Thomas's babysitter.
Oh.
Oh, I bet Chad's got a bad history with babysitters.
Do you hate?
I think you need a Manny, not a nanny.
Yeah, I think if the record shows that if Chad's gonna hire a babysitter, more than likely it's gonna turn into a bit of a
Tryst?
yeah.
Do you hate talking into the TP with no baby in it?
Yeah. It's the weirdest.
It's
the weird
so
because a lot of
weird.
the times like the majority, unless you actually see the baby isn't
Right.
Isn't there.
Right.
So then it's like we'll be sitting in, like looking in a little carriage, and it just becomes a joke at this point, which Marcy gets a kick out of it because I mean, it's absurd.
When there are the scenes with Nicole and Holly, especially, they do the audio of the baby crying in the scene, but
yeah.
it's just
You don't hear that though on set, do you? No.
It's just too loud.
Yeah.
It's just too loud and goes on for far too long.
Yeah.
Just an observation.
Yeah. I'm not
So
gonna disagree.
the poll that I'm putting out for this one is: will Jade help or hurt Joey with the situation at hand? So I'll
Are
tweet
you
that
still
one out, too.
loving the new Jade?
You know what? I don't dislike her. I
think she's really good.
I think she is too. The scene that kind of sealed it for me was that scene in the hospital with her and Joey when he was telling her he didn't want to be with her anymore, and she was saying how much she loved him. I don't know. It just touched me, and I thought it was believable. And I don't think she's doing like. She's not coming off as malicious. Like it seems genuine to me. So I don't know. I'm okay with that.
I finally hit my turning point this week. I was not a huge fan of the new Jade until this week when she came down the stairs and she pretended to faint into Tripp's arms or like get dizzy rather.
Yeah.
And then he went up to get her pills and she looked at Joey like, got him out of the room.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was really clever. I like what they're doing with her, and I really like Tripp. I like Lucas. Is his name?
Yeah, he's a super good young actor.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Kudos to Days for
Yeah.
finding another good
Yeah, he's
one.
great.
Yes.
I mean, I have to say, and I
He's got
was
a great look.
telling,
He's
I
different.
actually told this.
Say that again?
I said he's got a great look. He's different. You know, there's not somebody like him on the show.
Yeah. I think I said this to Marcy after the show last week, is I had to watch General Hospital. And I know some of you watch General Hospital and you're going to yell at me for this, but I had to watch General Hospital for a week because I thought I was going to come on and join them because my friend was going to come on. And I have to say, like, as much as I rag on stuff and reusing the sets on Days and this and that, girl, you have to tune into General Hospital. I was like, what is with these penny sets? Like, it was bad stuff. I was sorry.
Yeah.
I know you're all gonna yell at me, but I don't watch General Hospital. I never liked it. But yeah. So I think Days has got. I do think that you guys are like the hands down the best actors.
Yeah, I think
Collectively,
I
like
think
the most.
I think the acting on the show overall, I think is solid. I'll always support that.
Yeah, hands down. All right, so let's get into some of the little tidbits, and we can see if we can work Chad into any of these storylines.
Lonnie and Eli are now friends. They made up. I never figured out why they even disliked each
They
other.
were mad because Lonnie wanted to help him heal the rift between him and his mom, and he got offended that she got wanted to even help.
Yep.
So then they were like mad at each other. But that all seems to be working out now. Oh, this is what I was going to tell you too, and I said this on air last week. I think just because this little sorority fraternity thing that's going on with all the kids that all live together now, trying to find ways to get some of them out of there.
Yeah.
I think Theo should be at the DiMera mansion.
Oh, your scenes
I
with
just
Kyler
think-
are amazing also.
Yeah, I'd love.
That would
I
just,
agree.
I just think that would be such a great place for him to be. It would give him so much. It would give you guys stuff together. He is a DiMera.
Yeah.
Like, I just think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, no, it'd be.
It's
good.
an
but but Abe would never let that happen.
Why?
Well,
Billy.
you sound like you're gonna cry.
I know, because I think it's a great idea.
It is a great idea.
I mean, maybe. I just think it's.
Here's my.
I think it'd be too against the history of Abe to allow that to happen, unless Theo really.
Well,
really
but if
wanted
Theo's
But Stefano's
is going to be an
gone.
adult soon and can make his own
Yeah,
decisions,
no,
whether
I
his
agree.
daddy likes it or not.
I agree. I mean, I love the relationship that one's super important to me.
Yeah.
As an actor. playing
Which
that.
is even more reason for him to be there.
Yeah.
Instead of just Kate and Dario walking around your living room like they own the place.
Last
Don't even get me
week,
started.
Theo went to Chad for advice about having sex for the first time.
Yeah.
How much fun were those scenes to play?
Yeah, those were fun.
That
I
was
think we
fun.
just sort of went for those. Like I just remember going like, because you can't really rehearse that because
Yeah.
otherwise it becomes too. Like they hear it. I just remember hearing it and just being like, oh, okay. And also how awkward, like the how on the nose can you be with the advice that you're giving?
Right.
Which was like, oh, I'm talking about myself. and I should get my stuff together.
Yeah.
Too late. I mean, you already said it.
Yeah.
Right.
Shit.
There's no going back now.
So, with your good advice,
Yeah.
Theo sleeps with Claire. I was
Or
surprised. I actually
Abigail.
was surprised.
Oh, I thought you meant for
But Theo
how
slept
to
with
incorporate
Abigail.
them into the story.
No, oh yeah, no, that too. I was surprised. I thought they were going to hold off.
Good for him.
And have Theo. I mean, yeah, I mean.
You had to get it.
But
you know?
the only thing that I was just like was the line when Claire when Claire said, "Just like on my Pinterest board." I'm like, girl, it is a hotel room with 2 candles lit. Let's dial this back a hot friggin' second. I was like, oh, whatever. But
Yeah.
I was surprised that happened. And then we had a couple encounters with Claire or Sierra and Wyatt. And then at the end, we find out that he is not the good guy that we think that he is. And thank you for whoever messaged me. Wyatt, the actor who played Wyatt, also played Zach in that episode of Hope. No wonder I didn't recognize him.
I actually didn't recognize him either.
That episode I kind of tuned out and was like, oh, they're torturing me. But yeah, so that happened. Julie met Wyatt.
And invited him over for dinner.
Yeah, because he's like so perfect.
Whatever.
Interesting. Eli, Paul, and JJ vow to consolidate their powers to destroy Deimos,
I don't care.
the blind leading the blind. Paul's still concerned about Sonny's safety.
Sonny's being a jerk though this week.
I mean, I do. Here's the thing. I do like that he's kind of, because Brady's gone with Nicole and stuff. I'm kind of glad that there's somebody, a Kyriakis, that's trying to like run the ship. So I do like that about the storyline because I think that he should be doing what he's doing,
Sonny and Paul made love, and now Sonny is mistreating Paul.
which didn't get showed. I noticed, by the way.
A throw onto the bed and then commercial break.
Yeah, commercial
I mean,
break.
yeah, they tend to do that a lot now.
Yeah.
I want to see a good soap opera love scene.
I'm all about him. I'm all about him.
I'll just have to go on set and we'll figure it out.
Exactly.
Do they do them? I mean, I haven't had one.
Well, you just had one with Marcy, like.
But they cut
a
to
week- 2
commercial,
weeks
didn't
ago.
they?
Yeah, I don't think they sort of started.
A little
they
bit.
started and then just
a little bit. Yeah.
Pick it up after the
It
commercial.
was more than.
And
Sonny
then
and
it's
Paul.
like, woo. I
need a cigarette.
That was good. Let's eat some mozzarella sticks.
Go make me some
Well,
mozzarella sticks, Abigail.
They just give her and I French fries to eat. They just,
And then I forget the guy's name that's works for Dario with the glasses.
Oh, the nerd?
Yeah, the nerd guy. So he tells Dario that he was successful in hacking into something, and then we find out that it's Countess Wilhelmina, which, thank God, we got to friggin' see Lucas, and you guys had a scene together. Thank friggin' God. That made me happy. I smiled. I
I'm
sang.
love
working with him
Lucas.
too.
I love. He's being underutilized. completely.
Jed's had a lot of great relationships that they don't utilize.
Yeah. That made me so happy when it cut to you two. I was like, I literally smiled. I was like, no way! Like, I was so happy to see you guys together.
Well, him and I think we go, like, our scenes kind of go in increments. Like, there'll be, there's a few and then we don't have any for a while and then
Yeah.
there'll be a few. So I think there's some coming up.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I did like, again, I think I said this off camera before we started. I loved the scene with Marlena. She just came over to kind of have words with Uncle Vic about the way he treated Eric and stuff.
I love those scenes. Or
And
that scene.
You got it, my boy Vic. When she was leaving, he was like, "You don't even want to stay for a glass of wine." Oh, he completes me. He just like he doesn't even say anything profile. I just like
He's
the
my
way
favorite.
he is.
John is my favorite.
Oh, he's perfect. He's so perfect. Just
And
who
shout
can-
out to him for getting the
Yes,
first time ever.
exactly.
Him and James Reynolds.
First time ever.
Those two guys deserve
well
it more
deserved.
than, yeah.
Very well deserved. Yes. And then. So Dario and Rafe argue about Eduardo being arrested. I did like, however, that Gabby stood up for Rafe to Dario because the justification of it, that he stood up for her and got fired and lost his job and lost so much of everything, so he kind of had to do it that at least it was something that's believable. They used something from the past that we all remembered.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, that's the stuff that I want to keep encouraging because I just was like, again, it was a believable argument.
Now, you know this is a 3-hour Easter special today, Dishin Days, so
It'll be an hour for me. I'm gonna take these pizza rolls and leave here any second.
We're actually almost done. So
No, I'm
the only other thing we have is that
You should have painted. You should have painted these like Easter eggs.
I thought about it. I was gonna bring
he
in
texted
Easter
me
eggs.
earlier.
Yeah.
Were you really gonna?
No.
He was going to paint them Billy Flynn blue.
Billy Flynn blue.
I'll eat them anyway.
Did you know coming into the show that you have a color named after you now?
No, I don't.
Are you honored?
I am. I am.
There are the two last things. The only thing, and these are just things that I wanted to talk about because there were two things that I really enjoyed. Number one, I like because sometimes they give somebody a job that I'm like, that doesn't even make sense.
No.
I like Eric's job.
Yeah,
I think it's fits his character. You know what I mean? Like he's doing something that's believable. Because I thought like they were going to make him a photographer again or something like that. I just liked it. I don't know. There's something about the idea of what he's doing. Like, because he used to be a priest, that he's still doing things that are for the good of the community and stuff like that. Like, I feel like it fits his character. So I just wanted to say that. And then I also wanted to say I loved the scene with Kate and the gifts. I really enjoyed it. When she was in your living room.
Oh yeah.
Did you hear the bell ring? Like, did you know they were in there? Or did they just come and go as they please?
I don't. I'm just like, they should just make it what it is. I think I'd do a scene like this at one point. Because I'm like, they live together. Why is there never like a Chad and Andre crossing in like robes in the middle of the night? Where it's just sort of awkward. You know, like he's in the Rocky Road tub or something like that, and Chad's coming down and he's
What are you doing up?
well, yeah, what are you doing?
You can't sleep either?
Would you
Like
drink
the Golden Girls did that all the time.
You drink all the milk?
See, I would go for that.
Are you happy to have the great room back?
Yes.
So nice.
I always say I tried. I hated that study so much that in that scene where I destroyed, I literally tried to break it. I swear, I tried to throw something through the wall, and it
I love that.
it's just built with duct tape and Elmer's glue, or things stronger than hell.
You know what scene I loved a few weeks ago? It was when Abby and Chad were in the living room, and Abby pretty much said, "Let's go upstairs and have sex," and she ran out of the room and you
started
ripped
throwing
your
out
shoes
clothes?
out. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, wait a second. I mean, that's the kind of things that that aren't on the page. I remember I think I had to sort of fight to get that even in there. I was like, can I just start now and shout as she's going up the thing?
Yeah.
Just little things like that I think bring it's nothing.
It's so fun for the fan.
But it puts a lot onto it that shows you a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. That was this week.
Ooh,
We
that
made
was
it
intense.
through. We made it through.
I didn't think we were going to.
And that's good to know that we have Monday to look forward to.
Yeah,
So I
I think that's gonna be it's gonna get intense.
Grab your Kleenex.
Yeah.
Ready. All right. Well, let's get through our segments and news and gossip, and then we can take some phone calls and talk more about Billy. All right.
We
so there
talk
is
mostly about you every
Excellent.
week.
I'll say news and gossip. I'm obviously going to be in North Carolina this weekend.
next weekend.
Next weekend, and then June 3rd, I'm in Toronto.
We're coming with you.
Yeah, with Vincent Eric and Rob, and you can find details to that on.
Can I tell them about our text today?
What's that?
About next weekend?
About not knowing when I'm going. Yeah.
When he texted me that he was coming, he said, too bad I can't come. She should have booked me next weekend because Mondays is really good. And I was like, you're out of town. He's like, I am. I was like, yeah, I think you're doing it to a post event.
I told him, I was like, I think I'm becoming to be a little bit senile. I've been on a soap opera too long. I'm just starting to
Lose that.
Yeah,
That was
I'm
funny.
becoming brainwashed.
I was laughing so hard.
Do you ever have any scenes with Greg Vaughn?
No, unfortunately, we had. No, what did we? No, we had the one where he got mad at me when he thought that I killed, when I murdered. Who did he yell at me for in the
Serena.
Town Square? Serena, when he thought I killed Serena, and he yelled at me, and that was it.
That was like
it.
the
Yeah.
height of the elephant.
It's a big town when you need it to be.
Greg Vaughn is to me as you are to Mark.
Greg Vaughn is to a lot of people as I am to Mark.
But they need to get in line.
He's a hunk, you know, what are you going to say? Son of a bitch.
Right? So we won't have a 3 Snaps award because Tony Moore is not here.
But if he was here, let's just say, I'll take it, Tony. Don't worry, I
Yeah.
got this for you.
You got it.
It's going to Marcy for or was that last week?
That was last
Kate?
week.
Yeah, but I did give it to her last week for
Okay,
it. I
well,
did.
then that's
I did.
it.
Because I give it to her.
And she gets another one for standing up this week to Chad.
Yeah.
And stopping his craziness with a saying.
2 weeks in a row, Marcy. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so now we will do Matthews.
Oh, yeah, start off summer. Oh, I took your thing.
No, we're here.
Moment of the week.
Oh.
There it is.
So for this week's Daysaster, it's actually a 2-part Daysaster. Number 1 is the start of the scene of the start of the episode on Thursday when Kate and Dario walk into the DiMera living room to have a conversation.
Why?
Why are they in your house?
I don't know, man. Why is anybody ever in my house?
And normally, typically, we never confer about our segments,
Right.
whether it's Daysaster, 3 Snaps, or Quote of the Week. But I actually called Mark today and I said, I'm kind of torn between 2. And Mark said, well, I think you should do both.
A double
Because
disaster.
if you came over to my house,
What did I say? I said if I came home and you were in my living room, I would be like, "What the hell are you doing
What
in
are
my
you doing
house?"
here?
Like people just coming and going in your house.
I say it all the time. I'm like, why? I'm like, you can't even have him knock.
Yeah,
they couldn't have done this in the park.
I said they do everything at that bench. Couldn't they have done this at a park bench?
But you had just gotten into an argument with him. Would you want him in your home?
That's what I kept thinking too. Because the scene with you and him in the park was right before this.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, wait. Now he's in the
would
house.
he go to my home? After
Exactly.
And-
That's
and-
what I thought too.
And Abigail isn't Kate's biggest fan right now.
Right. Because she's technically not living with you, correct? She
Yeah.
lives in the Martin house.
No, she moved in. Her and Andre moved in.
Into the DiMera?
I thought so. Yeah. Don't I ask them both to move in? I thought Abigail and Chad had
I mean,
a
it's
scene.
possible.
I thought they had a scene because I remember Andre being
check
like,
the
"Oh
chat
yes,
room.
of course, I'll be there."
I'll watch the chat room because they always know.
Okay.
If you guys
These
know.
things away from me.
I know. All right, so that.
Oh, that's number 1. As I'm too busy like going for the pizza roll.
One disaster. The number 2 is.
Number 2 is going through the gifts, and I know that I'm going to get hate for this. I liked the idea of it.
I see. I loved the scene.
And props to Lauren Koslow for another brilliant performance. But I hated the card. I hated the voiceover and the list of gifts that he picked out for Kate. I wrote down actually transcribed everything that
Oh, wow.
his voiceover said. So he got her 4 gifts. Number 1 was earrings. He said, I bought these in honor of your wit and clarity, which have captured me through the color of your eyes. When you look at me, Kate, I feel for the first time in my life like I'm truly seen. Then he bought her a book of sonnets, which honors her grace and beauty. Next is a scarf that reminds him of the softness of her skin. He says, I'm going to hold you, Kate, for the rest of your life and protect you so that you'll never have to be alone again. And finally, he bought her...
It's like our vows.
Yeah.
Here. And me too.
Hey.
Sorry, I had to.
Behave, ladies.
And then finally was the vase, and he said, when I first saw this delicate beauty, I had a vision of her coming to pieces. I had done something terrible to disappoint you and made you crazy mad at me. And you in your rage had picked this beauty up and taught her how to fly. Sometimes you seem like a dream to me, Kate, and I pray that I never wake up. So I thought it was beautiful words, but I just thought it was so ridiculous that he bought her 4 completely...
I don't know. I just like. I guess for me, it's like if it's Kate, I'm happy. I don't know.
I don't know. I hated
liked
that she
the scene.
threw the vase, and then the pieces just didn't look like real broken glass. It just looked like...
And Kate would have had somebody pick it up for her.
Yeah, I think if she had actually
be real here.
thrown the vase, I think
Yeah.
it would have gone through the window.
And they're sorry. I was
No.
just saying that that they were saying yes. Chad did ask Kate and Andre to move in. So I'm sorry. Then I'll take all my anger and angst towards that scene back.
So that's it. That's my...
So that was Matthew's disaster. There it is.
It takes a while for
I
some
know,
reason.
I know.
You never know why.
All right. So now it is time for
Mark's Quote of the Week.
and my quote of the week is actually going to go to Kate. I had to. God, Friday. I was like, getting really worried. I'm not gonna have a quote of the week this week. I gave it to Kate at was right before you guys did your vows when she was talking to Andre, and she said, "I know your heart would be in the right place if you actually had one."
That's pretty good.
I was like, okay, leave it to Kate. Kate and Uncle Vic, I can almost always count on for a quote of the week. All right, so that was
Mark's quote of the week.
and then my fan of the week this week, I actually have a photo. I'm doing this in my dear friend who I met when I first moved out to LA, Patrick. His birthday was the other day, and I was thinking this week, oh, who's gonna be my fan of the week? And then it popped up that it was his birthday. He passed away a year and a half ago, my age, and he used to love the soaps. He always, was sending me links for stuff about Days of Ours and everything. He was a writer here in LA, and he passed away about a year and a half ago, and I want to give him a posthumous fan of the week this week in honor and love of my dear friend who is no longer with us.
Amazing.
But, so Patrick, you are always will be my fan of the week.
God bless Patrick.
And then we have some more news and gossip. Well, we already said you're going to be in...
Yeah, go ahead.
Where is next weekend? In North Carolina?
North Carolina. Yeah, with Dual Coast.
For Dual Coast events, and then on June 3rd in Toronto for Start of Summer Bash.
You start a summer bash. You follow Sabrina Fusau.
Yeah. I know, I do the same thing.
Fusau?
Yeah, I try to say her Twitter name too.
Eventbrite.ca.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'll show up.
Maybe.
You never know.
It's gonna be awesome.
I've been to
Go
Toronto
get your
before.
tickets.
Yeah.
We'll be I don't know, doing fun stuff.
And I have results from a Twitter poll that I ran.
Yeah.
There are still 5 hours left to vote, but I asked on the 13th regarding April 12th's episode. Yesterday's standoff between Chad and Dario was intense. Whose side were you on? An even split down the middle, 50-50.
Between who?
Chad and Dario.
Oh.
Which was a great scene.
Chad's taking a hit, man. Chad's taking a hit in the PR department.
I love when you realize that he is in love with your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
laughed
enjoy
at
that
him,
scene.
right?
Yeah.
Or something.
It's a double standard, though.
Absolutely. That was what the whole thing with me, but.
But I do think it's a realistic thing. People do have double standards all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there is, and I think Chad. It's one thing for Chad to justifies his way. I think, but yeah, I think Chad's judging him based on I don't think he thinks Dario is a very good man, but
Right.
in the sense of, I mean, Chad's obviously hasn't been the best, but I mean in the when it comes to criminal standards, or what he's doing, I don't think is. I think he's up to some shady stuff.
Right. We do have plenty of time left, so we're going to take some. Can I?
Did you want to
phone
do the
number?
trailer, or was that from last
No,
week?
no, that was from
Okay.
last week. Sorry. The phone number is 424-253-0749. If you guys want to call in and ask Billy a question or two.
Before we take this call, I do have one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
When you auditioned for Chad, did you know that you were going to be the DiMera leading man?
Mm-mm. No, I didn't. I had no idea Allison or James were leaving at that time. I don't think my character was ever supposed to be as big. I mean, Marnie, who cast the show, ended up telling me after, like, no, we're looking for like the new lead, but I don't know if it was supposed to be what it was.
Right.
I think Kate Manzi and I at the time with the relationship. I think when the Chabby thing took off, I think it made things much bigger.
Did you have a moment where you were like, I'm Chad DiMera?
No, I mean, I almost didn't even get the part. They didn't think I was. I don't think I was. I was like, wasn't good looking enough or something.
What?
Like that. Yeah, I almost didn't get it.
That's bullshit.
Jeez,
Yeah.
Don't even get me started.
Don't even get me started.
But
it all worked out.
But you know what's funny about that you're
I'm
talking
just not
about
traditionally
this?
soap. I don't think I'm a traditional soap. I don't know. Maybe I have a skewed view of myself, but at least my wife says. But I don't. I think the other guys are much better looking.
Alexis, there was something
That
you
is
queued up
simply not true.
for me earlier today.
thank you.
If you would mind pulling that up, because funny that you should be talking about this and that you asked about him joining the show, because I happened to come across my video submission to AfterBuzz to get this job.
Oh yeah. Oh, boy.
And if Alexis wouldn't mind queuing that up and playing the part that I asked you to play.
Yeah, I'm bringing it up right now.
Okay.
And callers, we'll get to your calls.
We'll get to you in just a second, yeah.
Please be patient with us.
Because this was, now again, this was before we started doing Dishin Days. It was right about the time that you started on the show. All right, Alexis, hit it. About what's on the episodes, could I please just talk about, for a second, my new favorite actor on this show? Cannot get enough of Billy Flynn.
You got like
I
super
think
gospel
he is
with it.
fantastic. I love him as Chad DiMera now. I think it's taken Chad DiMera character to a whole nother place. I love his scenes with Abigail. I love his scenes with Kate. I love his scenes with everybody,
Aw,
really.
so
Honest to God,
sweet.
he is. There was a whole article about him being a scene stealer. I give that a 100% stamp of approval. Cannot get enough of him. Love him. Whoever hired him, give him a raise or a raise. I think he is fantastic.
Amazing.
I saw an interview with him on a morning show. He was there with his family, and he was saying how he came from accounting or something along those lines, some desk job, and got tired of it and wanted to do something different. So here he is on Days of Our Lives. So I don't even know what kind of resume he has, but
I
he
keep
is
waiting for you to say, "Can I
and
get
as
an
an
amen?"
actor, if this is just innate talent, love him. Please don't leave the show.
You're just like, love
But
it.
anyways, love you, Billy. Stay on the show.
Aw.
Give him lots and lots of love.
Right?
And I got
Yeah.
the job. I got the job
Well,
because
I love you
of that.
back. Thank you. You guys have all been amazing to
Yeah.
me since the beginning.
I have
go
been
ahead.
a co-host.
I think you champion. I think he swayed the entire internet.
He may have.
the internet ship. I think it's swayed.
I've been a co-host on Dishin Days for 14 months, and 14 months of sleepless nights anticipating this return right here. Oh no, he'll be back. Oh, you weren't there for Billy Flynn. He'll be back. And making me feel bad for not being here the first time.
You weren't here for when I thought we met here. Your birthday.
We met at
No, it
the
was
red
James.
carpet.
You met at the red
Oh,
carpet.
the red carpet. That's
Emmys
right.
last year.
That's right.
All right, so I had to play that when I found that the other day.
Oh,
I
that's
was
very
my
sweet.
God,
Thank you.
perfect. All right, so we will start taking some phone calls. Again, Alexis, the phone, there it is. 424-253-0749 is the phone number if you would like to call in.
And I think people are dying to call
And
in.
I'm sure that they are.
Yeah, just gonna give me a second.
We
to
just
make
gotta
sure.
get
James Ruff in the chat room says, "Gush next time, Mark."
I don't know, well, and I even watched back our first episode of Dishin Days, and I was
See, I'm
Right
not a
away.
traditional soap stud.
Billy isn't a traditional soap
All right,
set, but
I got one number. You ready?
All right, let's do this.
All right, here we go.
All right, you are on Dishin Days with Mark, Billy, and Matthew. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Susie Morales Smedley calling you from Georgia.
Susie Morales
What's up,
Smith.
Hi, Susie.
Hi,
How are you?
doing great. Great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for calling in.
First of all, I'm Team Chabby with a Y.
Yep.
I am having a really hard time with the Gabby and the chat situation simply because, like what you mentioned earlier, even though it is a soap, I believe that a little bit of realism goes a long way for the viewers to kind of believe as to what's going on. But at any rate, I think that you're doing a phenomenal job at giving us a different story for us to kind of enjoy on a daily basis. So thank you for that. But I did have a question, a reference to, other than acting, what other passions do you have?
Well,
Hockey?
Yeah, I love hockey. Right. I mean, I love film. In general, watching movies, family, my wife, Gina. I keep things pretty. I'm pretty simple in the sense that I like the work that I do, and I got a couple movies coming out this year. So right now, though, I think work is pretty much my number one passion. Just doing what I'm doing.
Well, you do a great job entertaining us. You make
thank you
us
so
cry,
much.
you make us laugh. We love your ad-libbing. You do a great job, and we're so happy that you were nominated this year for a Daytime Emmy. So I want to wish you nothing but the best on that day. I will definitely be at home supporting you and praying that everything goes your way.
Oh, thank you so much, Susie.
And I just want to say really quick before I let you go, Mr. Mark Freeman, GH has an amazing set. I'm a huge fan, and I've been watching Days of Our Lives for 40-something years. But Days of Our Lives could change the scenery a little bit for us.
Yeah.
To the park all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. I said I knew I was going to get hate, but that's okay. And I like it coming from you, Susie.
There's never any hate for you, Mark, 'cause I love you. So I love you guys.
Thank
and
you.
Billy, thank you so much. Good
Love
luck.
you too.
Bye.
Take
Thank you,
care.
Susie.
Thanks, Susie.
Bye-bye.
Sabrina in the chat room says Billy Flynn, best actor on Daytime, charming and cool AF.
AF.
Yeah.
And then Julie
yeah,
Hooley
baby, thank
says,
you.
Billy reminds me of classic film actors, and it's a look I personally prefer. So
thank
take
you so
that,
much.
Billy Flynn.
And
Now I just seem like I'm fishing. Now I'm just like,
no, but it's blowing up in here. Rodalie
Yeah.
DeMille says Billy is hot and a good actor.
There you go.
Thank you.
We have another comment.
All right, let's take it. Let's do this. All right, you are on with Mark, Billy, and Matthew on Dishin Days.
Oh, you're forgetting your co-host?
Billy's here. I get flustered. He knows that. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Christy from Liaison Radio.
Hi, Christy.
Hi. I'm so glad I got through. I tried like 28 times.
And that's good that you got through because I forgot to announce something, and now you can do it.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm very persistent.
Do it. No, do it.
Okay, so Mark is going to be on my show Liaison Radio on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Pacific.
Woo woo. Be careful, Christy. You're going to regret
And Billy,
this.
I love you. You made me fall in love with Chad DiMera. You're
Yep.
welcome anytime.
Love you too. Thank you.
Will you two be discussing all things Billy Flynn?
All things Billy Flynn. It's going to
Well,
be,
of
what,
course.
3
I mean,
hours of
that's
just
obvious.
Billy.
Are you tired of hearing your name?
No.
Christy, did you have a question for Billy? Sorry.
Yeah, I do actually. I really want to ask Billy because I'm a huge Chad and Gabby fan. What was your favorite scene with Camilla? You had so many awesome scenes last fall and some this year,
There was,
and I'm still pulling for them. So.
Yeah, and thank you. There was one where when she first started, when I think when it was like our first kiss, where we almost started fighting, and then and I just thought that one was fun because it's like we started bantering, sort of back and forth, and then kissing and stopping. I was like, "You did this. You need to leave." And she was like, "What are we doing?" And I was like, I don't know. And then we started kissing again. That one was fun, but they're always fun with her. I mean, she brings such a she's such a different energy than Abby, and I think it's like I said, it's always fun. The meat locker and those ones are fun just because of our own like little kind of the inside jokes that are created from them are fun. So yeah, I think the meat locker and then the storage room or whatever we were locked in the time before that, those were fun.
Thank
you.
Too.
Thanks for watching.
All right.
Thank you, Christy. I'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Okay, sounds good. Look forward to it.
Bye-bye.
One of our favorite guests who was in a couple months ago was John Paul Lavoisier.
Oh yeah, I love him.
He loved you. He had nothing but the nicest things to say about you.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
And I wish he was around still too.
That upset me too.
Yep.
That very much upset me.
Bring Philip back.
Yeah.
Next caller?
Yep, let's do it. Let's bring in another one. All right, you are on with Matthew, Billy, and Mark on Dishin Days. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, this is Lisa from Georgia.
Hi, Lisa.
Lisa.
How are y'all today?
Good.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I had a question. Mark was trying to put Chad DiMera in all the storylines. So I wanted to ask, who would you want to work with that you haven't got to work with yet?
I love that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would love to work more with John Aniston, but I've worked with him once. I don't. Greg Vaughn. Be nice to work with Ari more. I mean, there's a whole kind of subsection of people I don't get to work with. I mean, I'd love to work with any one of them.
Like you were talking about.
I think John and I could sit down and drink some scotch and play some Chad and Victor could sit down, play some chess and drink some scotch and have a pretty funny conversation.
That would be fantastic. I couldn't get enough of that.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your nomination, and good luck to you on that day.
Thank you so much.
And I did have a favor to ask of you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
That lady, Susie, you were talking to a few minutes ago, her birthday is in May. And also my friend Angela, would you wish them both a happy birthday for me?
Susie and Angelo?
And, yes.
Susie and Angelo, happy birthday coming up.
Thank you. Yes, that's correct. And Gina just had a birthday, too, didn't she?
She did, yeah. It was the 6th, and mine's coming up May 29th, so maybe I'm around Susie's birthday.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And also, how was it to have your wife on the set? Was that pretty cool?
That was, I'm sure it was for her. I didn't see it. I let her and JP do their thing, and I didn't pay attention to it.
I can't blame you there. But we would love to have her back there.
Yeah, I'd love it. I'd love that too. Lisa was her character's name.
Yep.
Should swing back.
I can't forget that name. So.
That's right.
That's right.
From when Lisa
Maybe you'll
did
bring her to Dishin Days one time if Mark
I will.
don't mind sharing, right?
I will, absolutely not.
That's right. I'm sure you got more people waiting in line, and thank you for your time.
Thank you,
Lisa.
By the way, we hope to see you in Georgia sometime.
Absolutely. I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
you, Lisa.
Bye-bye.
Meredith in the chat room says, Billy is my favorite actor on the show by far. He brings a realism to the role of Chad, and he's the only reason I've been watching the past 3 years. He made Chabby my #1 favorite couple.
Oh, thanks, Meredith.
That's
the
great.
love is strong today.
Yeah,
Love is strong.
lots of love.
I did see a question about my favorite scene with Joe Mascolo, and it's the one that's on my Emmy reel.
Right.
Which
I was going to
I've talked
ask
about.
you, because I was thinking that when you were talking about your scenes with Marcy, that you haven't been here since that scene with him aired. And I didn't know if you wanted to talk a little bit more about that scene with him in particular.
I think I will. Let's take some calls. I mean, I've talked about it quite a bit, and not to take time away from I think people wanting to call in.
All right, let's take another phone call then, Alexis.
You got it.
Let's see who this is. You're on with Matthew, Billy, and Mark on Dishin Days. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name's Tina, and I'm from Kentucky.
Hi, Tina.
Hi, Tina.
Hey, Tina.
Do you have a question for Billy?
I mainly had, it was about them putting Stefano's picture back up in the mansion.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I don't think they actually said anything on the show about it, and I just wondered, about the discussion maybe on set about putting his picture back up.
I think once Sammy and Kate got ousted from the company, I think they put it back. Was I think what their sense was, and now it just sort of remains. I actually don't know. I thought that Joe had taken it with him though when the study was there.
Well, I noticed it being put back up once Joe died.
Yeah, maybe,
right?
maybe. I mean, it's been up since the. I'll ask about that. I'll find out. But I know it's been back up since the living room has been back, and that was up before he passed.
I was just thrilled to see it back.
Yeah, me too.
So it's the same set, just different furniture, correct?
Same set, different furniture. Yeah, I finally.
Right.
Abby finally got her new furniture.
Do you have a preference, one over the other? The old look or the new?
I like the new. I think it needs more of a new look. If
I
you
do
ask me.
too. I do too.
But yeah.
Tina, did you have anything else?
Nope, I was just thrilled to see that back.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Thanks.
And I think you're awesome.
I think you're awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Tina.
you.
All right, looks
Bye.
like we do have another call. Alexis, if you want to grab that one too, let's take as many as we can. All right, you are on with Mark, Billy, and Matthew on Dishin Days. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name's Maddie. I'm from Australia originally, but I live in LA now.
What was your name? I'm sorry?
Maddie.
Maddie.
What's
All
up,
right.
Maddie?
Yeah. I just wanted to say that thanks for coming on, Billy. We love you on the show.
Oh, thank you.
And I was just wondering, I really like, obviously, Chad and Abigail. I think that's pretty obvious. But I was wondering, obviously Kate was recasted with Marcy. Is there a different, how do you go about kind of making sure that relationship seems believable between, obviously, an established couple when there is a new person in the role? Is there anything that you do, or is it just kind of, you just read the script and go from there and just build it, or?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it just has to sort of develop on its own, which I think happened. I mean, when she started, I sort of kept my distance from her on purpose because they were two people who needed to find each other again and figure out who they were with each other again, and then it sort of develops on its own naturally. But a lot of it is just her and I talking about the history of the characters and understanding moments. I think that's the most crucial part because a lot of the time it's not even written. So there are moments when she'll be in a room and I'll say, just so you know, like this happened here. This was a big moment for our characters. And I think just being informed by your surroundings and what happened is I think really important. So that's kind of what I've done my part to try to do. And then she's just super amazing and brings her talent to it, and it works out.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I love you guys, and I love her on the show, and I love you on the show, obviously.
Thank
so
you so
thank
much.
you for answering the question.
Yeah. Have a good one. Thank you, Maddie.
Thank you so much for calling, Maddie. Julie Hooley in the chat room says she loves your accent, Maddie.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
Billy, Levi Keith in the chat room said, would you like to see Chad more in a Stefano-type role?
If the story served, if it served the story in the right way, I mean, you know, not like the stuff that happened with Vincent, which was fun to play, but it was out of character and it didn't make much sense. But I think Chad's always. I think the proper writing for Chad would be constantly battling between sort of the light and the dark. So if it was done right, yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not? Do we have time for a couple more calls?
We can do 2 more.
2 more? Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Let's take 2 more. All right. You're on with Mark, Matt, and Billy on Dishin Days. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hey, everybody. It's Jamel calling from Brooklyn.
Hi, Jamel.
What's going on, Jamel?
Hey, thank you. I feel lucky to get through. It's always so busy. I'm very happy to get through.
Yay. You have a question?
Yeah, I do. First, I want to say I've been, this week in particular, I've sort of been off and on. First of all, Mark, I love your rants. I just wanted to say that. I just love you. I do. I love them so much. And this week, I actually have to say I enjoyed the show. I feel like that all the characters, I can't really even think of one, all the characters had, things in life that was high stakes. And I actually cared about the result of what was going to happen to them. So I really did love this week. But I wanted to ask Billy, I love that your brother's there with Andre, and I love Kate. But I was wondering, would you like the writers to go more into your mother's background of the character, more maybe if she had a sister or some grandmothers or somebody to come in from the other side of your. Yeah, okay.
I've talked about that a lot. I mean, Lauren Cosmo and I always make the joke that she is actually Chad's mother.
Okay.
If that weren't the case, I mean, it'd be interesting. I think one of the most interesting thing about Chad's past is that he's lost a lot of family, and he doesn't really have anybody. So yeah, it'd be interesting to know something more about it. Yeah, that'd be a good storyline, I think.
Well, thank you. I was always interested, and even if we can go further along Cosmo, but I always think that when they have a character like yours or anybody on the show, it gives opportunity for people that we love, like maybe Tim Zimmer or somebody else, to come on and come in there and
there's a lot of mystery.
And be new characters and stuff like that. Yeah. So, hopefully. But I love the work that you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Really do. So, but yeah.
Thank you, Jamel.
Thank you, Jamel.
Thanks, Jamel.
Appreciate you calling.
I love you. Thank you so much.
All right, and we'll take one more phone call if we've got one. Do we have? Well, there was one there. I think we.
Yeah, I think it timed out.
Our Melvin fan in the chat room wants to know what it was like working with Vincent Irizarry.
He was great. The scenes that we had were super intense. It was just fun to get to play around with it. He's a pro, and yeah, it was awesome. My favorite moment was when he spit on my shoe, and I just ad-libbed. I was like, oh, that's not very nice.
Okay, it looks like we have one last phone call. We'll take this phone call, and we will be done. All right, you're on with Mark, Matthew, and Billy on Dishin Days. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Amber, and I'm from Landover, Maryland.
Hi, Amber.
Hi, Amber.
You have a question for Mr. Flynn?
Yeah, first I just want to tell him that I think him and Marcy are great. I love their chemistry.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I know that you said that you really prefer, but what kind of storyline would you prefer to see Chad and Abby in?
What kind of what?
Storyline would you prefer to see Chad and Abby in?
I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to see Chad take a I think it'd be interesting to see them both more in a power position, but to have Chad take more of maybe a back role to supporting her in something that she's doing, I think would be interesting. Sort of for her to be the strength in driving sort of something specific in whatever she wants to do.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a little bit darker side of Abigail.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds great.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
Interesting.
I want to say congratulations on your Emmy nomination too.
Oh, thank you.
And I wish you luck.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thanks
And
for
I want to
watching.
say to Mark that don't be dissing GH, okay?
I can only imagine what my Twitter is going to be like when I end the show here. So, but I set myself up for that.
Yeah, GH is just as good as Dave. I
All
love
right.
both.
All right, I'll take that. Thank you, Amber.
Thanks, Amber.
Okay, love you guys.
All right, Matthew, you have something else?
Yes. What was it like finding out that you got the Emmy nomination, and where were you?
I was at a friend's house where we just got done writing a script for a little indie feature, and I was up in the hills and didn't really have much service. So when on my way down, Maya from Publicity actually FaceTimed me, and I was just sort of in shock because I really didn't think I was going to get the nomination. And I was like, oh, okay, great. And she's like, you should be excited. And I was like, no, I am. And it didn't really kick in.
Right.
And then when I started to go down the hill, my phone started blowing up. And then I was like, started to get super, emotional. And it was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going to win. I'm predicting it.
Yeah.
Oof. I think it'd be I think it'd be an uphill battle for me to get the win, but we'll see. I know Christophe St. John had an amazing reel. He was, so I think he's got my vote.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
If you win, Mark and I are coming over.
If you win, I'll bring the Emmy here for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. Chandler took his back.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out real quick. There's a fan who watches, and I know his mother, Hope, little Kingston. So I'll give a shout out to him because they were gonna come to North Carolina, and then they're not gonna be able to make it. But Kingston, what up? Thanks for watching.
Very nice. Very, very nice. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Flynn.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
It was a delight.
This was everything I hoped for and more. It was great. Thank you for being here.
Awesome.
All right, so let's go down the road and tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Matthew E. Paine, and make sure to tune in tomorrow night on AfterBuzz TV for the Vanderpump Rules After Show finale.
Ooh.
Yes, it's a good one. It's going to be a good one. Tune
Mr.
in.
Flynn, or you want to go last?
I'll save the best for last.
Save the best for last. I'll go. Billy Flynn, thanks for having me, and thanks for watching.
And Twitter is Billy M. Flynn.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And in like Flynn on Instagram.
Yep, and like Flynn.
All right, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Lorraine Love, LORAYNELOVE, and I'll be on in 25 more minutes to do the RuPaul's Drag Race.
I love
after
RuPaul's
show.
Drag Race.
You should come join us over there.
I gotta get home.
I know. Gina will be mad at me if I monopolize you this long.
Mark,
All right,
I
thank you
have
for
to
sharing
say,
him with us, Gina.
Before we
I appreciate it.
end, Mark told me that he is actually Mark J. Freeman Flynn. It's hyphenated.
It's hyphenated.
Just so you know.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes the Flynn is silent, especially when my husband's around. But
that's one of my favorite things you've ever
but
said.
it's implied. It's implied. All right, thank you guys so much. Thank you again for being here, and we will see you next week at same time.
Good night.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Billy Flynn.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.